the intro?
Fuck off.
Every week.
Without fail. Well, it's got your turn, Sam. I've done it.
Hang on. Sophie, do you want to do it?
Do what?
The intro.
Yeah, I think that's a bit much to ask for her, isn't it? She's just thinking about lizards.
Lizards.
We'll get into that. Anyway, quiet down. Welcome to the Pacifist podcast. Tonight we are talking about If I Ruled the World, not specifically me, but all of us separately, maybe together. We'll find out. Anyway, so we got Mushi. That's a hello for the listeners.
Hello. Sorry for the listeners. I'm sorry. I'm old. I don't technology.
Yeah, we got Jeeves down below.
Hello.
And we've got Sophie, also known as the Horror Toad. Hi, guys. Your best BBC. Hello.
And now we'll see
just how
spot on the impression was.
It is bang on. Come on, Mushi. You can do the hello from Sophie instead.
Hello, my name's Horror Toad. How you
doing? Who was it?
I can't tell the difference.
Who knows? Quite. Yeah. So, if I ruled the world, or if one ruled the world, if you were in charge of the world.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing.
The problem with this title is I keep saying "If I Ruled the World," and every time I say it, I hear that stupid "Take That" song in my head.
Yeah. I thought there was a song called this, and I was trying to think of it today, and I couldn't think of it, and I thought it's probably for the best anyway, because otherwise I'll just get it stuck in my head.
Yeah, well, that's what it is. It's something along those lines, and yeah, I've just got Gary Barlow singing in my head at the moment.
Mix it up then. If I was in charge of the planet.
Okay. Global dominance. You've somehow, in some way, shape and form, you've been given the ability to rule the whole world. What would you do? We've had a few comments, not many. It explains why you didn't comment on the post, Sophie. Because normally it's all like, oh, if I was lizards, curls.
I actually put lizard emojis on the post as well.
I did see that.
Attention, yeah.
Well, that explains a lot. And I was just like, what, does she not go on Facebook anymore? Is she having one of those self-imposed Facebook bans? But no, she just decided to join us instead as the, oh no, you won't be able to see, but her name has come up as curly-haired bitch. I mean, that's what she called herself. It's not my fault.
Don't know how
That's
that happened.
not what I called myself. It's what a lovely customer that I had an encounter with called me.
Well, I want to hear this story.
It goes the same as every other story involving Sophie at work. She got violent, threw someone around a lot, and they ended up throwing her insults her way, and then learning why that's not a good idea. It's
how rude, absolutely disgraceful.
Incidentally, though, that was the same night that Sophie managed to pepper spray herself.
Oh, that's incredible! How did you do that? Well, I mean, like this, I imagine.
Well, let's just say it wouldn't have happened with today's COVID regulations because she would have washed her hands after handling.
Did you do the classic chopper chili go for a wee? I mean, we've all been there.
Yes, we have.
It was 3:00 in the morning. I was tired. I rubbed my eyes. Didn't think.
And you clearly don't wash your hands enough.
I can see screams.
Oh, was it bad? I've never been pepper sprayed, and I don't particularly fucking want to, Mushi. Before you get any ideas,
500 likes, people. You're just going to end up a mess. You're going to be on 499 likes, and you're just going to be thinking like, shit. I could wake up tomorrow getting pepper sprayed, shaved, waxed, probably like.
You're not waxing me. That's literally not happening, and it's all right. The timescale's like end of November. And I think we've gone up like 2.
Yeah, admittedly, it's not looking great. So, if you're watching or listening, do get over to the YouTube page and the Facebook page, hit like and a subscribe and all that sort of stuff. Let's see some smooth. And
Mushu not smooth. For me, it would be worth being shaved just to see Dirty Man Mushu. So how badly do you want to see this? All the way around the back, just a big bushel.
I don't think I'd be able to work with it.
I don't think he'd be able to throw anybody out.
I wouldn't have to come into work. I could just stand in the street and people would throw money at me.
Yeah, totally.
They'd literally
No
give money to go away from them. It'd be the best
No
thing.
one's going to start a fight, are they? They're not going to start a fight with someone who genuinely looks like an OAP. It's like
They'll just come wandering over. Oi, fuck off! No, sorry, mate. Sorry.
Grandpa the front door.
well,
Oh, we'd have to get you the Zoomer frame and everything.
No, I want a sticker.
no. What you want is the walking stick, like off of Up, with the tennis balls on the bottom, but with 4 legs. Like the 4-pronged one, so you definitely need it. Unlike those douchebags who walk along with a wooden stick, who just do it to be kind of cool. Which leads me to a funny story, actually. An old friend of mine, I love him to pieces, but he'd done a few things.
You're about to slate him, aren't you?
Oh yeah, so bad. So he broke his ankle. I have to go further back. He broke his ankle. I'll tell you how he broke his ankle. It was brilliant. He was sort of, I want to say squatting. I don't think it started that way, but it ended up that way because he got sealed into a flat. Like when they come and they put like a big metal cap over the door. And he was asleep and he's quite nocturnal. And he tries to leave to go to the shop and there's just he can't get out of the flat. So he makes a rope out of a sheet and he's on like the 3rd floor of some flats and climbs out prison style on this sheet, and obviously the sheet breaks and he falls and he breaks his ankle, and he's off work for a little while, and he's on crutches. And then one of his friends, oh god, I can't believe this, one of his friends made him what I describe as a wizard stick. It's just a big stick with like runes carved into it, a bit of leather around the top, and then a massive fucking crystal stuck on the fucking top of it. And so I'm about 21, 22 at the time, so he'd have been about 20. And I'm outside having a fag outside of work, and he comes along limping with his wizard stick. Now, it's not even a tall one. It's not like a cool one that's up here. It's like almost a walking stick size. If it had like a curve, he could just do that, but it's got a crystal on top, so he can't. And he comes up to me, and I'm like, what the fuck is that? And I was like, why are you walking along with a wizard stick? And he's like, well, 2 reasons. One, primarily as a walking aid, because obviously I broke my ankle. I mean, he didn't have crutches the week before, but still. And 2, it's got sentimental reasons because my friends made it for me. And I was like, you're walking around with a massive stick with a crystal on it. You're a grown man, but
like
even
a middle-aged
pimp. Bully you. Yeah, no.
In the Middle Ages.
Half as cool as that. No. It looked like a fucking wizard stick. I mean, if it had been a 2 foot taller, it would have been wicked if he had wizarding powers and a cape. But he didn't. He was just a normal guy going to do a shift at McDonald's. And
this is where it comes in. Like when you get these awful gifts from friends or family, do you do the polite thing? And I mean, he's obviously gone for it. I'm more the sort of person that'd be like, look, I really like this. I love the amount of time and attention you put into it. The leather on it, the crystal's beautiful. It's a brilliant stick, but it's going to make me look like a cunt. So I'm not going to use it.
It
There's
wasn't
a way of saying everything, I think.
I take this. It did look quality, and I mean, like, stick it on a wall or something, or use it for cosplay, but not just to hobble through the centre of town just to go to work. It's just like, oh man. And what do? You hit someone with it, and you get done for, I don't know, what do you get done for hitting someone with a stick that you carry around? GBH maybe?
It'd be GBH, wouldn't it?
It's some sort of worse crime than defending yourself with your fists.
I mean, you'd probably get offensive weapon thrown in there as well.
Yeah. But yeah, so it was a wonderful thing. And I do admire the bollocks it takes to walk around carrying a wizard stick. But
if you're not a wizard. I mean, obviously, if you're a wizard, that's cool. That's fine. You're allowed wizard sticks.
I don't recall him having any magical powers. But
so he wasn't the Sorcerer's Apprentice?
No, but I did watch that, Jeeves. I've said this before. I did really enjoy it.
Gone.
No, that's it. You've just destroyed 1/3 of the movie industry for Jesus.
What, for watching it?
Well, no, but I'm assuming you didn't enjoy it.
No, it was all right. It was fun. I quite like Nicolas Cage. I know he does everything. He doesn't stop.
Yeah, but the only thing he can do is Elvis Presley, and like that's who he's trying to impersonate in every role he does.
I like Elvis as well.
Yeah, but he's a little bit too. He's really weird about Elvis, isn't he, Nicolas Cage?
I don't know. I've never had a discussion with him with it.
Yeah,
Send an email.
He's like his idol. He dated his daughter for a while. He literally tries to emulate him in every role he does. That's why he's always like, which clearly
he was in the new SpongeBob.
Clearly, that's Nicolas Cage.
I mean, it's almost as good as your Hitler and Sophie impression. That one, I think.
It's up there. It's up there. I mean,
almost.
What?
Almost.
So
and that
deep.
was actually Sophie for our listeners who can't see. That was. Now, actually, this might be an interesting time to point out that with Sophie joining us here, it's going to add a different perspective to the overall opinions created by this podcast, because you've got three skeptical people in this chat at the moment. Obviously, me and Sam very skeptical. Jesus just doesn't generally have a clue what's going on a lot of the time. Whereas Sophie is you're a little bit more on the spiritual side, aren't you? That reminded me when he was talking about the crystals and all that sort of thing.
She's like, I really want this wizard stick. I'd walk around with it. Lizard on one shoulder, parrot on the other, and a wizard stick in hand.
Parrot, lizard, a little dragon. Parrot. So last year.
I don't fucking know. I've got sea monkeys.
Have you?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Are they not those things? They're literally just things that float in water. They don't do anything.
It's those things that kids get for Christmas when they're like 7.
They're not actual monkeys, though.
No, they're brine shrimp is their technical name. And they come in a little packet, and you add them to some water, and they come alive. They look like furry diseases.
Sounds wicked, mate.
They're really not, but they're pretty low maintenance. You have to feed them once a week, and when it's really hot, their tank evaporates water, and I add a little bit more. I'm worried that they're going to die, though. My place is Baltic, and unlike me, I can't wrap them in a blanket to warm up. But we shall see. It's an interesting experiment. I mean, they come from a fucking dry packet, so I'm not too fussed if they die, if I'm honest. Do you want to see them?
No.
I don't mind.
I'll look them up.
I bet you.
Go on.
Yeah, please.
They're
like wet and furry, like an otter, but
what?
Those tiny little sea bananas.
Yeah, exactly that. Should we crack on with the subject? Because we had a couple of comments, didn't we? Well, I mean, literally 2, 3, 4. Oh, one was taking the piss, wasn't
it? Yeah, one was chastising me for my use of the word investment, by the look of it. I wasn't actually after financial advice, I should state. I was. It was more of an anecdotal, witty question. But I mean, I will give you financial advice if you want. I'm quite happy.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure he listens, but he's a good gamer. I mean, don't play him at COD. He's a monster, that guy.
That doesn't seem fair when everyone else has to be a soldier.
Yeah, but well, he wins at it. So what can you do? But Charmaine put 2, in my opinion, amazing. Now, what would you call them? Policies?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so by the sounds of it, she'd keep the world exactly as it is, but introduce 2 new rules. And they are, I would put contraception in the water, and you have to apply for an antidote. And she would ban warning labels to allow for natural selection. Both of which I am so on board with.
It's fully behind that. That is, I would literally vote for someone on those 2 points alone.
Yeah.
I mean, the contraception one is genius.
It really is. I mean, she wouldn't go into the details as to how you apply for a license, which makes me assume that it is just race related. But as she wouldn't justify her answer, I think we'll stick with that. But I'm not that harsh, people. I don't care what colour your skin is because I'm colourblind. I can't see it anyway.
Yeah, now we've outed Charmaine as a massive racist. Let's dissect her comment.
Yeah.
I think we should possibly point out that, like, I don't know her, but I'm not for any. I don't want to call her a racist.
I do know her, and I know her very well.
And she's
I'm not prepared to neither confirm nor deny that she isn't.
Oh dear.
She had the opportunity to denounce that herself and neglected to do it. And anybody else who knows her will probably just message her saying, shame, just shame. Maybe just that emoji, not the emoji, the GIF. You know, the Game of Thrones one.
Game of Thrones.
Shame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So she's got very good opinions and policies. Terrible lack of understanding of human compassion, though. So.
Oh yeah, 100%. That's why I love her. She's brilliant. Absolutely.
Thanks for your comments. Please don't make this the last one.
Yeah, I am. The warning labels one is brilliant though, because it feels like it's got out of fucking hand. I mean, it's nice knowing how many calories and how many things are in it if you care too much, but I don't really want to see a dead body on something I know can cause cancer, like on a cigarette packet. I think it's harsh that they make me look at dead people before buying or after buying fags. I've already bought them. I'm very aware of what they're going to do.
Yeah. I know. I agree. I mean, the overriding thing that strikes me always is like, who models for things like that? You go to your modelling job. You're like, oh yeah, I'm a male model. Yeah, it's like, right, okay. Just look at your dick, sad. And the next thing you know, you're on a fag packet. Like, smoking causes impotence. Not really a great modelling job, is it?
How bad would that be? Well,
you're right. I mean, it doesn't. Not once have I just like not smoked because of what's on the packet.
No.
But I mean, I like the more stupid ones, like the ones which are blatantly common sense, and you can't get your head around why they would need to put that on a packet of something. You know, like well, I don't know. If you look at the base. You need a base sort of level of stupidity. So look at America, right? We love you, really. I know we've got a couple of listeners in California because I was spying on you the other day online.
Congratulations, by the way, Biden for the win. I'm quite happy with that result. Well done with you guys.
Yeah.
That's sort of what prompted this, incidentally. The election is what got me thinking of this idea.
Yeah.
But yeah, sorry.
No, so I can't remember what I was saying now.
And you were referring to Americans as stupid.
This is it. Yeah, warning label. Sorry. No, well, all you got to do is throw a stick, mate, and I'll chase it. I'm not the fucking most attentive person. Yeah, so there was a thing. I was looking at one of their rockery packs. It's like a big box, and you get all these rockery sets, yeah, for a garden. You know, like
okay, yeah.
And it said on the thing, not for human consumption. Right? That to me tells me that at some point an American has tried to eat their rockery.
An American, so specifically them.
I've been to B&Q, mate, and I've had a little look on the products there. Not many of them say not for human consumption. So
is that one with the washing label as well, where it says on like some kids' shorts, it says please remove child first for washing.
Over here, witty and sarcastic. Over there, genuine advice.
Well, I think they've missed a trick on the cigarette packets and the warning labels. And I've always thought what they need to do is get somebody who thinks they're really cool. We use Sophie as an example. Stick her face on it and put a fag in her hand, maybe in one of those wanky 60 or 20 cigarette, holding it, smoking it, and the caption says, "I smoke because it makes me look cool." Something along those lines. I mean, there's a million different things that they could do. And yeah, as opposed to, they just show us the tracheotomy. I don't know if that's the right word, but it felt right. The butthole neck hole. Yeah. And they just show me that. And then, you know,
the one that I like.
And I'm aroused.
My favourite. Let's not go down that rabbit hole. The one that I like is the one with the pictures of the two lungs. You got the healthy lung and you got the tarry lung and all that, and you're like, oh no, yeah, they're both fucking dead because their lungs are hanging on a hook. You know, I don't give a shit which one's which. They're both fucking gross. I don't want to see either. You know, It doesn't put me off smoking. It puts me off looking at lungs.
The thing
Fair
is, though, you know that there's some moron out there somewhere that's collecting all of them so that they've got one of each.
Oh,
Definitely.
yeah, like swaps and trades.
Yeah.
Oh,
Thinking they're Pokemon cards.
I've got 2 impotents. I'll swap one for your children die young or whatever. That's how.
Oh.
Yeah, maybe you're onto something there, Soph. That could be a new Pacifist podcast board game.
Hey.
Or
What
card
the best warning packets you can find? Has anyone got any to hand? I've got. What have I got on this packet here? I've got a dead person,
Oh yeah.
or a sleeping person. I mean, there's nothing to show.
I've got the kid being a helpful ashtray to his mum there.
Oh, that just reminds me of the 80s.
Yeah,
You know, when someone was breastfeeding with a fag in their mouth and a whiskey in the other hand. Oh, they were the good times. Eh?
I remember sitting in my back of my mum's car in the petrol station, and she'd wind down the window, and it's one of those ones where the bloke comes up and he's like, "What do you want?" And she'd tell him, and he'd go off and fill the car up. And she's just sitting there smoking away, and I'm in the back seat, and it didn't occur to me that that was possibly bad for my health, or indeed explosive. But you know, it was a different time back then. Health and safety didn't exist, and everything was fair game. You know, like children's playgrounds, fucking nightmare.
Fun, weren't they?
Everyone I know has a scar somewhere from a children's playground.
On my knee.
I've got one on my eyebrow. Went the wrong way down the slide. You know,
What,
I've not always been the intelligent person. No, I went down the stairs.
We went up the slide and down the stairs.
I mean, Mushi's the only person who goes to a playground and be like, "Oh, I'm going to walk me down some stairs."
We've still got that footage on the CCTV, actually.
Yeah, it was only a week ago. Yeah, I went down the stairs, and this is one of those proper sort of slides with the metal steps and everything. And I was on the top, and then I ended up at the bottom of the steps, and my dad was there, like, "What are you doing, you tit? You go down the smooth end."
Yeah, and then he beat you.
But yeah, everyone's got a scar from him.
There was a slide in Ventnor down by the botanical gardens. It was one of those bumpy ones.
Yeah, I remember that.
Did you ever, when you go down it, get fucking air off it?
Yeah, and
I got so many bruises from that thing.
Oh yeah, you got to be careful with them, especially if you're wearing like acrylic shorts. Fuck me, you might as well just launch yourself. Yeah, like. Brilliant, fun slide for the first half. Second half, fuck knows where you're going to land. You're on your own. You're just hanging in the air. Fuck it. No.
The botanical gardens back in the day, before that park was that you're talking about was built, they used to have this climbing frame that I swear was just scaffolding. It was just a big fuck off great box of scaffolding with a smaller box on the inside and a smaller one which then had a platform on. My chubby ass never managed to get to that platform because I don't know how you got from one bit to the next bit to the next bit without dying, because at the time it felt like it was 90 feet up. But yeah, it was just poles and concrete.
And that's all you needed.
Oh, days I'd spent trying to climb that thing.
The park near us had, you know, those big circular concrete tube things that they use for underground works and stuff like that.
Yeah. They were great fun.
Yeah, had like fucking shit ton of them knocked around, and they'd all gone like slippery on the top, where people climbed on top and they'd worn it down slowly. It had gone really slippery. And I always remember one of them just had this fuck off Gert big blood stain on the top, where someone's obviously tried to climb up, slipped on it, and just mashed their face into it. Never got cleaned off. It was gruesome.
The rain will get it.
Yeah, that's it. Good old 80s rain.
Right, Sophie, where do you stand on warning labels? Do you think they're a good thing, or do you think
I think it's a bloody brilliant idea.
Well, getting rid of them?
Yeah, getting rid of them.
Fuck yes.
All up for the natural selection.
Yeah.
The thing is, similar. My first thought when I read it today, first thing I'd want to do, bring back the death penalty. That'd be my first thing. Death penalty coming back. Huh?
How do you want these people dying?
Huh?
Bye, Andy.
I don't know. I was thinking maybe we could do like a national vote, like each criminal, just
Wheel of
like
Death.
a little quiz. Yeah.
Wheel of Death.
There we
Wheel
go.
of
We can
Death.
make it fun. Make it like Family Fortunes.
Just like everyone's like, oh, what's it going to land on? Oh, look, it's going towards a headshot. Headshot. Bumped by a bear. Bad luck.
That's the best one. Sophie, I like that. I'm actually not anti the death penalty at all, but I think that it's a waste just to kill one person at a time. And I think the Romans had the right idea. I think we bring back the arenas. And I think that people on death row, they should be allowed to fight it out. And that's how you get your pardon, by surviving. And that's like, then we at least...
Would you not,
at least we're keeping the breeding
the Hunger Games then instead?
No, because I don't want to put children... I don't want to put children into a fucking arena to make them murder one another.
No, you put
pervert,
criminals,
Jesus.
you dickhead. Fucking hell.
Well, let's not liken it to the Hunger Games then.
No, the concept of the Hunger Games, you fucking retard.
So, day one of Lord Jesus' rule. Round up all the kids, we're going to have a game.
No,
day one of my rule, mate. I'm going to fucking turn Sam into fucking jerky.
Oh, I'm voting for you.
Jesus, you won't be able to eat me. I'm too spicy and marinated in chocolate. I'll be shooting at you so quickly.
I'll give you the Duncan so he can marinate you.
I am to quote one of the greatest films of all time, Dog Soldiers. I hope I give you the shits.
Love that film.
Yeah, it's a good movie. But no, Jesus, I don't want the Hunger Games. I want the arena back. I loved all the Spartacus TV shows.
Just to clarify, though, if they do win and they're pardoned, I don't think they should be pardoned, because it's a big thing going from death row, just having a fight and then coming out, because it's a 50-50 chance you'll win.
We just keep putting them in.
Well, look, I think they can then be employed as bad, you know, like in the original show, The Gladiators, and you had like Wolf and Hunter and Jet and all of that. Then you can sort of employ them, and they can be like the house robots in Robot Wars for different kind of events. If you've got a lot of pedos, if you've rounded up a fuckload of pedos all at once, and you don't want to have 100 2v2s or 1v1s even, you can have like an elimination round, a bit like a mega
Royal Rumble.
Banzai.
But
you've got like
like a Travelator and stuff like that.
Yeah, but you've got or it could be like in Stephen King wrote the book The Running Man. You know, where they had like Domino and Buzzsaw hunting after him. You could have the past winners doing that, because we already know they're badass.
Yeah,
I don't know. I would monetize
winners. No, you mean last season's losers.
Yeah, they'll probably remake that soon. They're remaking everything else that was good.
Yeah,
possibly.
Do a shit job of it as well.
Well, not Jeeps. Sophie, what crimes get the death penalty in your world?
Murder. Animal cruelty.
Animal cruelty?
No, well, I love my animals. There should definitely be something more severe than a fine, eh?
I said Sam's looking at his sea monkeys at the moment, thinking like, "Fuck, I'm going to be put to death."
Yeah, you better go out and buy a heater for them.
Sophie, this is going to be a very, very unpopular opinion, but I don't even give a fuck about fox hunting. I mean, if those wankers want to dress up like cunts and ride around hooting their fucking horns, chasing after a fox, I say just let them fucking do it. It makes jobs for poor people looking after dogs and horses. But I mean, I'm all for them being sentenced to death, admittedly, but I think a different
to
reason.
be fair, death is a little bit much, but I think the penalties should be more severe than what they are now, rather than just a fine and a slap on the wrist.
Like having the soles of your feet whipped with a bamboo cane.
Walking on Lego.
All of which are dreadful.
Oh.
Yeah.
Give me the
or one, then the other.
Oh. I think I'd rather do Lego first. I'll walk on the Lego.
Yeah, no, my luck. I'd be like, I'm not walking on the Lego, just I'll do the wheel of death. It's like, you've got death by walking on Lego. Fuck! You're in the Lego pit. Oh.
The Lego pit. Oh, I mean, I'm all for bringing back the death penalty, but I do want to know that the person being sentenced is definitely fucking guilty.
Yeah.
I think it has to be 100%. I want to find bodies in back gardens. You know, like the Making a Murderer people. Who are they? You got Brendan Dassey and
the other guy. The other guy.
And the other guy. I'm not 100% convinced that they killed that girl from Auto Trader. So I couldn't have them be killed because I think there's just too much suspect shit that went on with that case.
Yeah. Now
someone's going to comment.
The problem I think with the death penalty is the fact that there's no real accountability in the fact that all you're doing is it's just, that's it. It's over, isn't it? They've got, I think, life in prison with proper prison restrictions is much more of a punishment than the death penalty, I reckon. In my opinion.
Why waste the money on them?
That's what I was going to say.
I agree.
So much
not
money.
worth it.
No, it's not worth the money.
No.
How about...
That's all money you could be giving out to like the fucking NHS or something like that.
How about the island?
Or just to set up the island as a massive prison.
No, throw them...
Or a massive battleground.
A huge island, yeah.
Yeah.
Throw them all on a boat, dump them on this island, and then like just have all the sea mined, regular patrols around the island. Then they can live or die. Fuck them. It's up to them. It's how resourceful they are or anything like that.
Isn't that how Australia came about?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Maybe
they chose one of the most beautiful countries in the world to do it for. You want some shitty Scottish island where it's freezing fucking cold. You're like, nasty. You don't want to send them somewhere nice, do you?
I wouldn't class Australia as nice, and I apologise to the Australians that might be watching or listening to this, but the way I see Australia is everything over there wants to kill you. The weather, fucking hot, wants to kill you. The land, desert, wants to kill you. The animals, spiders, snakes, want to kill you. The Aboriginals probably want to kill you because of how we've treated them in the past.
Sophie.
Everything out there is designed to kill you. I'm going to stay in England, where the worst thing I've got to worry about is probably falling out of my caravan, which I did earlier today, actually. But I'm fine. Yeah, I wouldn't class Australia as a country I'd want to go to particularly.
I really want to go to Australia.
Yeah, I mean, but I would be quite up for sending all the prisoners to an island. I just wouldn't make it as big as Australia. I'd make it a little bit smaller than that.
The Isle of Wight is
what about like the little sea forts off the coast?
Well, that's too small.
You've got to give them a fighting chance.
Yeah, they've got to be able to try and survive. Like, it's got to be somewhere where they can grow food or catch food, somewhere with indigenous wildlife, fresh water sources, that sort of thing. Because the idea is you chuck them on the island, then you fuck off and forget them. And maybe, if they're like murderers or something, the families of the victims could be, they could pay a bit of money or something just to fuck with them a bit on the island. Like, one day, you know, you pay a tenner or something, and some dude goes in there and kicks down their shelter overnight, or pisses on their fire. Just little annoyances. It's like
it would just turn into that prison in I think it's Mexico, where the gang lords took over years and years ago, and they haven't had guards or military in there for so long because they're so violent, but they govern themselves really nicely. Well, nicely, as nice as you can.
Prison staff of like 5 or 6, haven't they? That just literally work, let people in and out and sign people in and out, and then everything else.
Yeah,
is inmates, isn't it?
Yeah, they just man the border of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm quite up for all of those ideas, to be honest with you. I'm not anti-death penalty. I am. I think if it's, you know, particularly heinous crimes like kid killers, like the McCanns.
Oh, slipped that one in, didn't you?
Yeah, yeah, or like the Fred West, or who's that dickhead? He's always trying to starve himself. He's been doing it for 20 years. He killed the little girl in the Man United t-shirt.
Ian Brady.
Yeah, probably him. He can fucking go. He's wasted taxpayers' money for decades, hasn't he?
Now, after saying that I don't agree with the death penalty, I do agree with the way that the Russians do it. I don't know if you've heard about this, but there's prisons in Russia, and what they do is they've got like squash courts with the galleries over the top, and every day, if you're on death row, every day you get led out, sat in a chair in this squash court, just on your own. Then a firing squad will come up over the gallery, aim their weapons. They'll be like that for 5-10 minutes, and then they'll either pull their weapons away and you'll get led back to your cell, or they'll take that shot. But you never know when it's coming, and every day you go out there and you just sit in the room waiting, so you don't know if it's your last day or not. That's the way to fucking punish someone.
That's cruel and unusual punishment right there, Mushu. It's,
there's some cruel and unusual people out there, mate. What can I say?
I don't really want to torture people. Although saying that, I did say about having a gladiator arena, which is
some would say that's a blurred line there, mate.
Yeah, well, I mean, I can't ever say that I'm consistent with what I say. It's got to be said. I do sort of go on.
Yeah, I'm exactly the same.
Well, moving to the death penalty. Jeeves, one thing you would do if you were Lord Ruler, King, God of the world, God King of the world. Just one. You'd have to lay out your manifesto.
Are you sure? Because I've got fucking that. No, I haven't. Do you know what? I'd love to launch Trump in a fucking rocket to the moon.
It's so oddly specific, but fair play, mate.
I just want him gone.
Well, he is gone now, isn't he? It's Biden. Biden won.
He's on his way out.
He's going to be in those fucking tunnels of that fucking White House for years to come.
Just eating Twinkies.
You're just going to hit running past in front of the walls.
Just end up the White House pantry goblin. You just have to chase him away with a broom. Oh, fuck. Trump's got into the bloody pantry again. Fuck off. And he'll be like...
It's chasing him off the porch with a broom, like Forrest Gump's mum. When raccoons got on my porch.
Every day you find his like top piece of his hair just like laid somewhere different in the fucking White House.
Oh, watching telly, hearing bin getting knocked over outside. Oh, fucking Trump again.
It's rooting for the kids. Trump's an interesting one, though. Are you guys not interested to see what he's going to do next? Because obviously he's a billionaire, isn't he? He's got all of his businesses to go. I mean, he's also a megalomaniac.
A lot of his businesses have gone bankrupt.
Good.
Over the years, lots of them have gone into bankruptcy.
He's gone bankrupt loads.
Not that successful. I mean, yeah, he's still got money, but a lot of that money is what his dad earned.
I reckon we'll have a few lawsuits from him. And then
he's already started them, hasn't he?
Yeah, and then I think he'll disappear and just peddle idiocy from secret locations and stuff like that.
I reckon the QAnons are going to be going mental now that he's not in, because he was meant to be the savior of the world for them, wasn't he? And now they put Biden in.
He still could be. He might be Superman for all we know.
Oh God, could you imagine getting saved by him? Oh, it'd be so awful. Like a baby blimp just flying over his superpower. He puts his thumb in his mouth like a baby and just breathes out and just expands till he becomes the size of a zeppelin, and he just picks you up.
Cape billowing in the wind, you've just got his hair.
Yeah, it's his hair.
The thing is, though, I do feel bad for Biden though, because the thing with the American presidency is once you're a president, although you don't have the power anymore, you still get fed details. You're still under loads of different restrictions. Like you can't even drive a car if you're a former president and stuff like that. And they get updates, threat updates. So like, North Korea's started launching ballistic missiles again. Well, Trump, because he's a former president, gets those updates and can assist the current president in advising him like what he could and couldn't do and stuff like that. So even though Biden's got him out of the office, he still has to deal with the prick for the next 4 years.
Not necessarily. It depends how good the broom is.
Mm.
Also, going to the president's not being allowed to drive, Biden's like 83 years old. Motherfucker shouldn't be driving anyway. I mean, get a guy a chauffeur. I mean, just vote him in just to keep him off the roads, in my opinion.
Do you know what would be really, really cool is if they just voted in a president that was like in his 20s or something. Just, I mean, what's the worst that could happen at the moment? It would just.
Well, I mean,
it would just be fun to see, wouldn't it? Like,
what did you say, Jesus?
Sophie heard me.
What did he say?
I said Ash.
Ash. Oh, is this a work colleague or something?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
This is why Andy's not saying anything.
Yeah. Well, at that and that nobody knows who he is.
Yeah.
Real point. Yeah, but yeah, I think that would be awesome. Just see how the how the world changes with a youngster in charge. Because to be fair, they probably care about all the shit that actually matters at the moment.
Well, like,
I mean,
education, healthcare
as well, but yeah, that sort of stuff, you know, because it's the stuff, you know, you come out of education and all you can think about is how shit the education system is, and oh fuck, now I've got to get a job. So they probably put a lot of effort into actually altering that. I mean, without getting too boring about it, the education system is pretty shit. I mean, I would like to have done taxes, like learn how to do taxes, learn how my country's financial systems work and stuff like that, rather than fucking trigonometry or geology or something that I'm never going to use, you know?
Geology. What school did you go to? Were you learning about
do
geology?
like a life course?
Slow Hunt Academy in Liphook.
Oh. Rock and roll.
That's
See,
right.
you saying about the education system, this is actually something that me and Ian were talking about earlier. And one of the things that he would do is put an honest education system in place where kids will learn about taxes, will learn about what's going on around them, and just the honest part of the country.
Shit.
Yeah.
You know, like, I don't know.
I like that.
Well, I can't claim that as my own. That was Ian's. It was my partner's.
Well, I'd
claim it.
I promised him that I wouldn't claim it as mine. So.
Oh, he's so good.
Well, I'm going to edit all of that out, Sophie, and I'm going to make.
So that was Sophie's one and only appearance on the Pacifist podcast.
Yeah. I'm hoping he can hear me from the other room and that he's heard me say that.
Sophie's probably playing Xbox.
I think he is, actually.
He probably hasn't heard a word you said.
He's probably loving it. It's like, oh, the bitch is off the TV for the night. Yeah. Right, Mushi, what are you going to do? Because mine's kind of arduous and long and won't be popular at all. So I'll let yours come out because it might be fun.
What, if I was in charge of the world?
Yeah, just one thing. Just one main policy. You got that Sophie's killing everybody. Jesus has just launched Trump into the world. Into the moon, sorry. So I'm stifling a sneeze at the moment. That's why I'm touching my nose.
Wash your hands.
Hands, space.
just watch it go.
I'll turn it
That's
off.
the row. You turn the world off.
Yeah, I'll just stop.
There isn't a button.
I've kind of had enough.
It'd build a button.
Yeah.
It just launched a nuke at America. America will do the rest.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, I'm just done. No, what I'd do is I'd select a few people, like friends and family and stuff. Actually, then I'd select a few more people that knew what they were doing, and I'd colonize another.
You colonize another planet.
Because otherwise, I'll be like, right, I've got all my friends and family. We're going to colonize a planet. Like, yay! Right, who knows about rocket science? Right, let's colonize this room. Yeah, no, I'd try and colonize another planet, and then I'd just fuck Earth off, and I'd start again. I'd like to start with a clean slate. I wouldn't want to be in charge of the world at the moment because it's been fucked up by too many morons. It's too big a job, and I just wouldn't want it. I'm holding my hands up now. I'm lazy. I'm not up for dealing with all that shit. I'll start again, and I'll build it my way, and it'll be done right. Don't worry.
Can you think of any people that you would want in that? I don't even know what to call it.
Group?
Board. group, I suppose. Yeah, in that group, friends and families aside, who you would want to take part in the helping of a colonisation of another planet.
I was going to say you'd be coming, Sam, just in case you get peckish along the way. I don't know. I'd want people that I like, but cool people as well. People like Bill Nye, Neil deGrasse Tyson. I know they're not practically like engineers or anything like that, but they've got a very, very good understanding of like space and physics and stuff like that. So they'd have a decent opinion. They'd have a good idea of what's going on, but they're also quite fun. If you don't follow Neil deGrasse Tyson or Bill Nye on Twitter, you should do, because they're both amazing.
deGrasse Tyson, I think, is absolutely brilliant.
Oh, and I'd definitely have Terry Crews to wake me up every morning with a titty dance as well.
I'm sorry, but I feel like this. I feel like
I'm doing the weight thing where he's like that thing. Oh, I'm clearly not him.
I do feel like that, Andy. You're missing a name off of your list here.
Oh, obviously he'd be there. Like we're going to an unknown territory. We might need someone to man an outpost on their own, and maybe they would integrate with the locals. Yeah, Kevin Costner would be there. Of course he would.
Plus, with his beautiful, beautiful country and western singing voice, I mean, that's entertainment for days.
Can you imagine? Days. Echoing around the Martian canyons, just a bit of Kevin Costner and the True West, or whatever they're called.
Oh, so it's Mars that you want to colonize then?
I don't give a fuck, mate. I'll go anywhere. I mean, I'd like somewhere which is quite nice. Mars always looks all right, doesn't it? You know, weather-wise. Saturn's a bit stormy. You've got Pluto, that's just fucking cold all the time. You need a hat.
What about like a mega ship, like a mega starship, just like to, you know, slowly start a voyage off into a new galaxy or something like that? Because then you could just sleep. And he said you're lazy, just get yourself put on ice.
Yeah, I mean, but yeah, I'd kind of like to see the finished product, if you know what I mean. That's just like, it's like choosing to spend the rest of your life on a bus rather than actually in a place. You know, you just travel.
No, but if hypothetically you could get put into some sort of cryo sleep, then you could just get yourself put to sleep. When you get somewhere, you could have everybody else wake up 10 years before you, get it all set up, and then you could like, oh, what have I missed, boys? And you know, I mean, skyscrapers. And
not to be too depressive or anything, but if cryo sleep existed, just put me in that. I'll be happy. Don't bother waking me up. Just put me in cryo sleep and put me in a fucking cupboard somewhere, and I'll quite happily just sleep for the rest of my eternity. I'm quite good with that.
Well, okay.
Andy wakes up, and this is where like Zach's woke up like 10 years before him and comes riding in on his T-Rex. He's like, nope, fuck that, I'm going back.
Oh, yeah. Knowing you guys, I'd wake up after a millennia, just be like, why does my mouth taste like balls? Oh, you guys.
You would definitely have a sharpied cock on your head as well. Just saying it right now. There'd be one.
Wouldn't be Sharpie.
The alien.
What would it be?
Tattoo.
Wonderful. Our fearless leader, massive schlong on his head.
Worship me. It'd become a religious symbol, wouldn't it?
But the ball's here, and it just goes up like that.
Oh, Jesus. I love it. So I was just thinking of the classic knob with drips towards the mouth, but you took it to a whole new level.
I don't think that's ever been done. Not that I've seen. That's impressive.
You can be the first.
I could. I'm not going to be, but I could. Because
what would you let us do it with whiteboard markers? Because we have established that your head works as a whiteboard.
It actually does.
Really?
Yeah, the whiteboard markers work on it and everything. The rubbers will rub it off as well. Mental.
Oh, sick. Can we get a picture of your forehead with the Pacifist podcast written on it?
Yeah.
Consider it done.
Thank you, Sophie. I appreciate that.
We're in tomorrow, Sophie. We'll do it tomorrow.
Okay, well, wonderful.
Cool. Send that shit over, and I'll stick it on the Instagram page. It's, I'm straight on that.
We're still not allowed to wax you.
But is there nothing? is there nothing that you would do on this earth if you were given the option?
I would probably abolish. I would put a cap on how much money someone can actually have. I mean, fuck me. There's people.
I like that.
You've got 6 or 7 people with the combined wealth of the rest of the world. That's not right.
Yeah, it's mad.
What do you do with that?
Nah, it's not.
It doesn't even mean anything when you've got that much money. It means nothing. The only people that money means anything to is the people that don't have it. So stick a spending cap on it. Yeah, you can get up to like 10 million or something. Oh, you're a big 10 millionaire. Well done. But all the rest of the money, that would free up billions and billions to throw into everything like education, fucking homelessness, drugs and alcohol. I'd legalize marijuana and tax that as well. Definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of things I'd do.
Yeah, America. America is so.
I wasn't sure if you
love
frozen
how progressive they are on that. Yeah, no, with the fact that they're legalizing it in more and more states as it goes by, I think that's so progressive because it's so pointless wasting police time and effort on weed. I mean, in comparison to booze, isn't it like the old Mike Skinner song, "The Irony of It All," where they've got the weed versus drink debate. I don't know if you know that song. The Streets.
I know the Streets. Yeah, I know the Streets, but I've never heard that song.
Oh, well, look it up because it's fucking brilliant. And I mean, he doesn't smoke anymore. I was listening to my podcast the other day, and his reason for not smoking weed is the exact same reason I don't smoke weed anymore. He said, it always makes me feel like I've left the iron on, which is exactly it. He couldn't have summed it up better for me. It's like, you know, that feeling where like, shit, did I my front door? Did I leave the iron on? Is the hob still on? They're the reasons. And they're like, yeah, it's I still, the smell, I absolutely love it. And if I didn't get that feeling, I'd be all over it. And I imagine in California, because they were the front runners with regards to legalization in America, obviously Amsterdam's a totally separate entity. I could probably go in and explain that feeling and they could be like, well, I've got the stuff for you, and they give me something else. But that isn't a luxury we have in this country. So therefore, I don't indulge like I used to, unfortunately. But yeah, I think that's a good one. And also with the amount of money people can have, I saw this wicked meme, and I'm sure I've mentioned it before, but I think they hit the nail on the head. They were like, the amount of money. It was when Bezos like tax statement came out during lockdown. They're like, this is too much fucking cash. There should be a cap to £1 billion, maybe dollars, doesn't matter. And when you get there, you get given a golden award, and then every penny you earn after that goes back into your country. Just every single penny. It's like you get a golden award, boom, done. And after, because it's just too much. We're in another lockdown, so he's on it again. He's going to be making a fortune. It's Christmas is coming anyway, so he would have already been making a shitload of money. And all of a sudden, all of the wealth is just going into his bull bank account.
I'm glad you classified the dollars or the pounds there, because like you can have like 1 billion Congolese dollars or something like that.
Yeah,
you'd probably be able to afford a packet of smokes.
Yes, yeah. I was trying. I mean, an effective amount of money. I think pounds is probably best because we're in England, aren't we? So I mean, why wouldn't you want it in pounds? I mean, I know it's not as strong as it was pre-Brexit, but it's still fairly strong, isn't it, in the grand scheme of things?
And it's easier to spend over here.
Yeah.
No one takes yen.
Yeah, that's true. I don't think I've ever seen a yen note. I don't even know what their money looks like. I think
it's got
weird shapes.
Nah, it's probably got a picture of like
a dragon.
Mao. I want to say, who's the Chinese supreme at the moment? That might have been when I was growing up. I don't know.
I don't fucking know. I just sounded like you were making meowing noises to me.
Japanese cat.
Yeah, it's just like this.
Did you not know? Oh. What's the yen? Is the yen Chinese or Japanese then?
I don't fucking know.
Yen, I think, is Japanese.
Oh, right.
They don't
Maybe
have
we should
euro.
change the subject. What? We clearly don't know what's going on here. Sam, go on. Why don't you hit us with it? Or do you want to do another comment first?
Okay. No. I'll hit mine and we'll do another comment after.
I'm crying inside.
Yeah, get inside. Yeah, well, welcome back. I mean, no welcome back to be done, really. But either way. So, my turn.
Go for it. Settle in, boys and girls.
Yeah, well, I've actually thought about this quite long and hard. And what I would do is I would bring in a universal basic income for everybody. Because you were saying about how money is pointless and how the top 10% of the world is, what is it? 500 people own nearly all of the money.
Something like that.
That is gone. We're going to have sandbucks or something along those lines. Every single person is entitled to this universal basic income. It's off the basis of, there's a guy called Andrew Yang who, in the 2016 American elections, he was running, but he didn't make it anywhere because, for some reason, the idea of everybody getting, I think it's $1,000 a month, is a horrible idea. That people should be able to afford their rent and food. Yeah, and people weren't on board with it. I would bring in that. However, there are masses of terms and conditions involved in it that I would bring in, sort of like national conscription, but not specifically for the armed forces. So what age are you when you finish university? Like 22-ish? Somewhere around then?
Who went to university here?
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of it. You finished.
I think I've still got some friends that are at university now, and I'm 25.
Okay, well, look, we'll just say 25 then. I mean, that's roughly quarter of your life, because there'd be healthcare in my ideal world for everybody as well. So everybody's entitled to universal basic income, and until 25, you're in a sort of indentured employment where you get to do all your education, all fully paid for. If you have a certain aptitude for the academic subjects, you then go on and do academic subjects to fulfill doctors and lawyers and all of those other boring, shitty things that I wouldn't be able to manage. But if you're a bit more physically inclined, you'd be able to experience, or rather work, slave work essentially, but you are getting paid on like construction and road building, and you do all the basic menial jobs. But by the time you're 25, you're done. And for the rest of your life, you're entitled to universal basic income. You get it while you're doing it as well, but you've got to complete that service to qualify for the rest of your life. I was trying to work out a way of doing it. And I think because you've got to stay in education in our country until you're 18. It's the same in America. And I just think it's very, very dictatory, my world, but it's my world. So this is how it works. But yeah, so I'd want doing this. It would enable everybody to be educated. I want healthcare for everybody. So I mean, during those years, you get to work in hospitals, and if you have an aptitude for it, you stay in the hospitals. I mean, you need people to wheel people around, don't you? Like, we've got mutual friends who work in hospitals wheeling around dead COVID people, don't we? It's a job that needs doing. I'm not going to say names. But yeah.
Weirdly enjoys it, though. I'm never about it.
Yeah, but this is it. He has an aptitude for that job. So it's been like, do you know what? You're really fucking good at pushing dead bodies around. If you want to stay on and do this, you're more than welcome to. And you get jobs after, and you can go into whatever field that you want to. But for the first bit of your life, while you're going through education, you're in work placements to find where you're best suited. I think the thing is, I've been watching a lot of Star Trek this last week or so. And I feel like their global systems where everybody sort of works for the greater good is a good thing. And because money it's not done on money anymore, it's done on status with them, isn't it? Or is that?
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. That's what I would bring in for everybody. So that way it eliminates things like housing worries and kids being fed, because everybody's entitled to it. It would take away all of that bullshit.
Yeah.
But, yeah, you look like you have things to say.
It was a surprisingly serious answer from you, to be fair.
I've been thinking about it. I didn't want to launch Trump into space, but I didn't want to take away some of it's as you said, you wanted a clean start, and that's what I would do. I would just eliminate the financial systems
So what
and
happens
try and make
with your system? You've got if you've got someone that's showing an aptitude towards academia, so say you've got a really, really fucking super intelligent person who also just happens to be in peak physical condition and just fucking built like a god, like me.
See, I thought you were describing me there.
Really?
He wasn't.
Yes, at least Sam got that much. Yeah. No. So what happens if you've got someone who does like? Do they get a choice then?
Yeah. I think everybody should have a choice in it.
The problem with any system, you can make it fair as you want it to. There will always be someone that feels hard done by.
Of course there will. In every system, there always will. But I mean, and for older people, they don't have to sign into this educational vocation thing. I don't know. It needs a better name than indentured work. I've thought about the overall, but I haven't ironed out all of the specifics. Everybody would have a choice. And by the time they're 25, if you didn't want to work for the rest of your life after, you probably wouldn't have to. But if you did, then you'd be able to supplement your income, your universal basic income, with whatever job you want to do. But as you said, if you've got someone who's a fucking genius but is in peak fit, why are you giggling?
I'm sorry. I'm just imagining Donald Trump in a rocket going to the moon. I'm sorry.
Oh.
I'm really trying to pay attention to what you're saying, and all I can see is him just like, help.
Oh no! Well, no, that's fair.
Slowly floating up.
But
yeah, I would love to see him in zero G's with it just flapping in the wind, but making its own gravity.
Oh, it would look like a million face huggers giving birth, wouldn't it? Just be like all everywhere, just like out. Oh yeah, no thanks.
Actually, do you know what? I just want to quickly go back to Jesus' point of shooting Donald Trump into the moon. Is it going to land or is it just going to crash? And that's a lot of silence.
Crash.
Oh, okay.
It's just like, I don't really give a shit as long as he's fucking millions of miles away.
You know what? Give him the power to develop his own space force. Fuck off. Go do it. You could do it on your own. Fuck off.
No. Give him a loincloth and chuck him on the island with the rest of the prisoners. See how he fares in the real world.
I don't think he'd do very well.
Okay, but I am the best, the greatest prisoner of all.
That's quite a good impression. I like that.
It's like you literally channeled him for a minute.
Yeah.
Wasn't funneled.
Don't funnel people, folks. It's not polite. Express consent.
Or do. I haven't had a beer funnel in forever. They're a bad thing.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever had one. I used to do the Yard of Ale.
I've done it once.
They're horrible.
Yeah, nobody told me that there's a very, very good reason why you don't do a Yard of Lager, and that is that it's fucking fizzy, and it's really, really hard to down. At least with the Yard of Ale, I just shit myself halfway through. I could carry on. Nobody knew.
Everyone knew.
Just kidding.
To be fair, I should have been wearing something.
That literally just reminded me of when it was me and Bailey up in the office, and you've come in just inside the door, telling us about how you nearly shit yourself, waiting for your kids to finish dance class or something.
Yeah, I remember that.
There's a customer at the door. He's just like, yeah. Then I nearly shit myself. Right. Me and Bailey was just like, he's turned around and went,
She wouldn't make eye contact with me for the rest of her stay here. I proper traumatized her, man. These things happen.
I don't know what to say to that. It's everybody poops. it's one of them things. Everybody poops.
Thing is, she won't be the first and she won't be the last.
No.
Not to be traumatized by Andy.
I think it's happened since then, to be fair. Yeah.
a lot has happened since then.
I once got a TripAdvisor review which said that I made someone feel the most uncomfortable that any man had made her feel.
Wow, she's not met me.
And I'm weirdly proud of it. I don't know why.
Was Jesus working then?
Yeah, I think he was.
He probably had a beard though at that point. It's only
Like a normal
normal
I
beard.
was working on the part when you got that review. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's outstanding.
I know.
But to all of our listeners out there, if you want to write any TripAdvisor reviews about Andy, feel free. See if you can take it up from the most uncomfortable anybody's ever felt to a
What
new
an
level.
interesting challenge. The Can Andy Keep His Job Over Winter challenge. I like it.
Yeah. Although they're closed, he still haunts my nightmares. I wake up in cold sweats and I don't know if I can see a boob or his head. It's just so confusing.
Wow. Thanks.
Well, that took a turn.
Didn't it just?
Mm.
Didn't it just? So,
Well, anyway, should we go? Should we find? We got another comment here on Facebook.
yeah, which leads on to something I wanted to bring up. Actually, I think if it's the comment you're going to read out.
Is it the "I want to set all the chickens free" from Max?
No, it's not. But I do want to. Address that one.
Or is it the letterbox one?
It was
From
the
Liam.
letterbox one, but let's go for the chicken one for the minute.
The chicken shit. So, wait, hang on. I've just got to find the exact comment to write it out. Read it out, even.
This is where me and Sophie are going to have a very big difference of opinion. I think.
Oh,
I can just see it coming.
I'm
it
sorry.
literally just says, "Let all the chickens loose." I like eggs and I like chickens, but the idea of 50 billion chickens being set free, I love the idea of that.
The place will be a fucking nightmare. I've seen what happens when one chicken gets in a room. Everyone loses their shit. There's feathers everywhere. People coming out with fucking clawed eyes. There's clucking from everywhere at once. It's insane. Imagine that, like 50 billion times. All those chickens everywhere. There'd be plane crashes. There'd be fucking. It would just be carnage. It would be the end of the world. It is the most.
Why would there be
wretched thing.
plane crashes?
Think of all those chickens flying around. The chickens fly.
The
Not very
longest
far,
required
no.
flight time of a chicken is 13.5 seconds.
I love how he knows that straight off the back. It's like
I
what
think
the-
we were talking about this the other day because we were on about pheasants, weren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fine.
All right, so there might not be plane crashes, although taking off will be very difficult because there'll be fucking little furry bastards all over the runway.
Feathery.
You got in there before me.
You're welcome.
Feathery bastards.
But all I have is that meme going through my head, that vine going through my head. Look at all those chickens.
Yeah, yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Okay, so we've established that I know very little about chickens, which is possibly why I don't want them all to be released. I think keep them where they are, the spooky little bastards.
I think the reason you don't want them released is because of your experience on Far Cry.
What's the experience on Far Cry?
I got killed by a load of turkeys on Far Cry. I mean, I don't think that should be a thing that can happen in a video game, to be honest. It's
Definitely
a video
There
game.
was only 3 of them.
Numbers aren't important, Jeeves. Fuck. The fact is, it happened. I don't know whether it was a glitch or what, but they fucked me up. And, you know, I had 4 weapon slots. I had machine guns, shotguns, you name it. I got fucked by these turkeys. They were unnatural. But no, that's not why, Jeeves. And no, I think I get where she's coming from with battery chickens and shit like that and battery hens. Like, let them out, maybe. Make them free range or something like that. Like, stop the cruelty to them, but don't release them everywhere. That'd be carnage. It'd be fucking. You've seen what happens when those little Indian trucks crash. You know, the ones that are always fucking loaded with chickens.
Oh yeah.
Mayhem. Rumor has it Hiroshima was a chicken crash, and they just nuked the lot just to cover it all up, just to contain it. But
I would
Sophie.
like to add, not very long ago, Andy, we actually had a discussion because someone was considering adopting 2 cockerels, weren't they?
Not cockerels.
no,
Yep, two silkies.
by considering,
Ah,
'cause that when you-
there was quite an in-depth discussion about it, wasn't there?
yeah, I'm pretty sure it's fairly negative on my part, and you were quite positive about it.
Nah,
hang on.
you
Was
were
this
up
one of
for
this?
it.
Was this along the same sort of lines as our discussion about buying a tank?
Similar.
I
Yeah,
wasn't there for that, so I can't
In the-
say.
neither one's going to fucking happen. I'm not buying
Not
cock.
after Bob,
I'm not
no.
gonna buy a tank yet.
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 No one's buying a tank.
But yeah, no, I wouldn't. I'd have a chicken. Yeah, I mean they're cool. They're cool little creatures, but I wouldn't like let it run around free. It'd have to stay in its kennel.
Chickens are vicious fuckers. Have you ever Googled chicken fucks up a mouse?
I'm not googling anything else you suggest, Sam, because you always do this. Chicken fucks a mouse.
No, fucks up a mouse. Like
It's like
Not
Rocket
happening.
Boys all over again.
Yeah,
Yeah,
chickens
not happening.
are literally feathery small dinosaurs. They're so vicious. I mean, they're not going to mess you up too much. They might pet you. They'll probably mess you up, Mushu, because it seems that that's your luck. But if a small little rodent gets into a chicken coop, it is dead. There is no coming back from it.
I think I could take out a chicken.
Yeah, but could you take out 100 chickens?
No,
I'd like to try that. I'd like to try that.
I mean
A big pair of boots.
I got a fair slapping from a seagull a week or two ago.
You what?
I got a slapping from a seagull a week or two ago.
it was a pigeon, and his name was Sam.
Oh yeah. It was
Oh,
a
yeah, I
pigeon.
saw
Bit
this.
by the seagull.
You were rooting around under a fucking
I got-
caravan, weren't
Yeah.
you?
Yeah, sorry. It was the week before that I got bitten by a seagull. Yeah, I got.
Oh,
slapped.
Zach.
But I think chickens are generally more docile, aren't they? You know, I know seagulls are sort of like they're a member or a descendant of the raptor genus, so they're going to be quite vicious. And it's not in any way belittling for me that I got bitten and hurt by one. I mean, the pigeon was just a dickhead. That just slapped me for no reason. I was trying to help it. What a prick.
Hey, he let you
did
pet
that
him.
video.
He let me pet him because he was dying. And I knew this because I'm not a vet, but he died. So that gave me the first inkling. I think that's the only reason he let me stroke his head. Yeah, but I think I could take a chicken on.
How many? Okay, so
Are we going to measure? Are we about to measure strength by how many chickens we could fight? Is that what?
no. I'm going to set a scenario, and you get to pick your weapon of choice.
Go.
There's 500 chickens, and you, last manish type thing standing. What weapons do you choose?
Flymo lawnmower.
A lawnmower. I love it. What a fantastic choice.
And I just
Wait,
hold
say
it
that
in front
again?
of me and run around.
500 chickens, Jesus, and you, only one can survive, or one species. What weapon do you choose? You can't have a flamethrower.
Oh,
say
fuck
condom,
off.
Don't say condom. Don't say condom.
Don't take condom. I got to fuck them out of there.
Femidom. No.
Sophie, chime in. Jesus.
Scythe.
A scythe.
See,
Oh, like the Grim Reaper of chickens, just sweeping carnage through it. Oh, you sick man.
Quite like that.
Then when I'm done, I'll drive them all down to KFC.
Oh, but where would you aim for them? Because if you go at neck height, you just end up with literally headless chickens, and rumor has it they're worse.
Yeah, but not for very long.
Oh. What about you, Sophie? I mean, you'd probably just lay down and let them kill you, wouldn't you? Be like, oh, my little very, very friends.
I'd come out as their leader. That's what would happen.
You turned into a chicken. You're like Chicken Woman. It's the new DC villain. You literally throw
The chick.
The chick. For fuck's sake.
Just approaching the barn at night, and the barn doors fly open, and there's Sophie like, chicken soldiers, move out. Then all these chickens just fly out. Oh, fucking terrifying.
On me. She holds her arm out like the woman from Home Alone 2, and she's just got like missile launchers just launching eggs off of her. Oh,
Amazing.
God.
Wow. I can never unsee this film. I've got this whole, I've made the whole movie in my head. It's brilliant.
I'd be commissioned soon
Yeah.
enough.
So
We need to get hold of Benny.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, this is another really good point. Like, we've all seen Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds. I mean, all of us. I mean, obviously, me and you, Sam. Sophie won't have, and Jesus doesn't even know that other movies exist. So
I have seen part of it. I haven't seen the whole movie.
yeah,
Alfred who?
you imagine that, but with stupid birds. It would just be depressing.
I don't really consider any bird to be hugely intelligent.
Oh, I don't know. Ravens are quite clever.
Are they? Or are they just a bit scary looking with their big old beaks?
No, there's a guy in Russia. He's got a pet raven and it can bark.
Can
I
he
don't know
really?
if that's a sign of intelligence, though, saying
I was
that.
going to say, so because it barks, it's clever.
I mean, dogs are clever, right?
I'm sorry, but when you said about the birds being stupid, all I got was the rooster from
Moana.
Moana.
Hey,
Got that in my head.
Hi. Exactly that.
hey.
Or hey.
Yeah, that's
Hey.
that's voiced by the guy from Firefly, isn't it?
Is it?
Voiced is the guy who flies the plane in Firefly or Serenity. Wash, I think his name is in that. I can't remember his real name. And voiced is a very, very broad term, considering it just goes.
Noise, doesn't it? See, you could have done it for all I know. Yeah, so release the chickens. Maybe not. I get where she's coming from, but I think it would be a bad idea overall.
Yeah,
I think it would be something very similar to the charity event they did where they released those 1.5 million balloons. It will end up like that.
Like a Sony Bravia advert, that sort of thing. Except they're all white.
I assume that wasn't endorsed by Greenpeace. The way they kick off about straws and face masks and gloves and anything else that's made of fucking plastic, letting off 1 billion.
You never hear of it?
The thing is, I don't think people give a shit whether Greenpeace endorse it or not.
Well,
I mean, they should, but I don't think they do. I just think it's let's release a shit ton of balloons into the atmosphere and see what happens.
have you seen what Greenpeace have been doing lately? On a slightly side tangent, I actually think it's quite clever. So you know how you got the super trawlers in China that just literally just tear up everything in the sea. It doesn't matter what they catch; they just stick it in a can and eat it. Well, they've been going along the paths that they go along and dropping enormous boulders into the sea, so it fucks up the nets. Which I spoke to a colleague of mine who did a degree in marine biology. I always get him to fact check stuff I hear about the sea. It's basically one of only 2 things I can talk to him about. And I was like, oh, is that like an effective tactic? Because it seemed quite a cool one. And he's like, they've just got sonar, so they'll just go round it. I mean, so it's like, oh, there's a rock there. Just take a left, and we'll go straight back on our line.
Yeah,
I thought it was sort of thinking outside of the box a little bit.
I like the passive aggressiveness of it, but yeah, it'd be better if it worked.
It'd be better if they were dropping cars in, like probably
not
take the fuel out of it.
I think that's just fly tipping, mate. Just like Greenpeace, just
Replace
dumping
boulders with sea
freezers over the back of their boat. This will fuck them
You
up.
say sea mines. Sea mines is definitely a better one, Jesus. Or like balls of razor wire, so it actually cuts up the.
Why chickens? As well.
I don't know.
The amount of other animals that are incarcerated, which shouldn't be. I mean, like
Tigers.
Release the tigers. Fuck me. At least that'd be fun to watch.
Yeah, wouldn't it just? But do you know, fun fact, there are more tigers in Texas than there are in the rest of the world put together. Probably
Did you learn that?
less now that Joe Exotic isn't whipping out the baby tigers every single week. But actually, Sophie, as our animal expert, if you will, weigh in on this for me. Okay, I think tigers in captivity is bad. However, I really want to hold a tiger cub, and the only way I'm going to be able to do that is if with crazy cunts like Joe Exotic breeding them and letting me touch them. Where do you stand on that?
With tigers actually being in captivity, don't agree with it. Apart from obviously if they can't be re-released, if they've gone past that point that they can't be wild, they can't be a tiger, then they need to be looked after, because they shouldn't just be thrown out there to be killed by something else and to not survive. At least they've got some kind of life.
What the fucking hell? Killing a tiger?
Eh?
I mean, there's no way. Even a tiger that's been in captivity. How long does a tiger live? Should we say 20 years?
Jeeps.
Pardon?
Give me a sec.
Jeeps. Yeah. Okay. Look. So.
Hey Google.
Even if it's been careful, that's my fucking thing off. That does.
Yeah. Nice one.
Hey Google, play Pacifist podcast episode 20. Thank you. Hey Google. Stop. Yeah. Sorry. So even if. Hey Google. Stop
fucking saying it. Mine's going Dinlo over here.
Yeah, mine's fucking flashing like I'm at a disco at the moment.
See what you've done, Sophie.
Yeah, I mean, there's even a total like weak ass tiger that's been in captivity for 15 years. There's not a lot of other shit out there that could fuck it up. I mean,
well, the younger tigers could.
Yeah, but would it? Would they? If you let 500 of those little bastards out, they're going to go wandering, just going to be like in Australia, eating babies and stuff. I mean, there was a dingo eating babies back in the late 80s, early 90s. No? Am I the only one who remembers that story?
No, I remember it, but surely that's not cool.
No, it's not. But my point is, it could survive. I mean, it'd eat all the cats and dogs, wouldn't it?
And babies.
And the chickens.
Tigers in the wild apparently can live up to 26, but in captivity it's 10 to 15.
Well, that tells you everything you need to know, doesn't it?
Yeah, it'd probably do really well if you let them go then, wouldn't it?
As long as they're in a state that they can be re-released, I think so, yeah.
Well, Texas is a state with lots of tigers already, by the sound of it.
Are they in captivity, though, or are they actually wild?
Are we just going to throw over that awesome little link there? I thought, oh, fucking, that was genius. It's wasted on you.
Yeah. You should know this.
Yeah. But, yes, they should be in a state for... But didn't... was it Charmaine? Who was it that said about the letterboxes?
Oh, Liam. Yes, letterboxes.
Yeah. Because this is the other one that I wanted to address. I mean, I'm assuming that Liam is a colleague of yours, Sam.
He is of the postal persuasion, yes.
Or has been at some point, yeah. But it's a really good point, isn't it? Because like I've had a paper round before, I know it's not the same, but it's similar in the fact that you've got to put things through letterboxes. And what the fuck is the point of putting them up high?
Dude, try being 6'5". I fucking hate him. When he was talking about the death penalty, I mean, arguably, it's a bit harsh to jump straight there. They should be given the option of changing their door first. But I'm so... I cannot stand it. And it's always real fan... okay, it's not always really fancy people, but sometimes there was a subsequent comment on there from somebody who bought a door, and the only place they could have a letterbox put was on the bottom. And that wasn't what they requested in any way, shape or form, but that's what happened, which I think is very unfortunate. And I feel like they should be given a better door. And that door designers need to stop designing letterboxes on the fucking floor. It's ridiculous.
There's no reason for them. They're within grasp of animals. They're difficult to get to. The only reason is so your letters don't get fall damage from like dropping waist height.
And it's so far that they fall. I would rather them be 6 foot in the air than 2 inches off the floor. How big do they think posties are? Do you think like they've literally just employed the Oompa Loompas to deliver the letters? I don't want to put it too high. And I found over the years, it's always like genuinely real snooty arseholes who actively want those kind of letterboxes. Oh no, letterboxes, they just look so unseemly on my fine oak door. I want it on the bottom. Get it out of sight.
Followed by the those wrought iron letterboxes, which are often sideways, but they've always got the fucking spring on them.
Yeah.
Which is like next level. You need 2 hands to open the spring and then to sort of put the paper through with your teeth, because it's the only way it's going to get through. And then for an extra challenge, put one of those draft excluders the other side of it.
Oh,
My grandparents have one of those. And
yeah, they come.
I got sent round to check on the dog once, but I forgot the keys to the door. So I had to
Feed it through the letterbox.
No, so I just took pop round to check on him. So I had to open the letterbox with one hand and then try and move the furry bit on the other side with the other hand. But I was trying to hold something under my elbow, I dropped it, and all down the bridge of my nose, I just lost so much skin. Oh my God, did it hurt?
Sophie, I'm just going to make a recommendation that you don't join the postal service ever.
Ever since
Wasn't planning on it.
It's
early mornings.
Did Sophie just with a warning saying do not put nose in letterbox?
And we just
need warning stickers, these things.
We just heard that Sophie just tried to give herself a nose job.
Yeah, but got it horribly mixed up.
Well,
I was only trying to check on the dog.
Yeah.
Could you not have just shouted walkies and just seen what happened?
Say that again.
Could you not have just shouted walkies and just seen what happened?
No, he doesn't respond to it.
So that clears up. Dogs aren't clever then.
He's very clever. He knows to ignore me.
Yeah.
Just like everyone else.
Clever or survival instinct, I'm not sure.
He's my baby.
The BMW anti-noise filter. Start talking, his head it's just like oh hello, there's Bailey.
Walkies. Fetch, where's that cat?
Oh, hello Bailey. Oh.
Why do his eyes point in different directions? I don't get it.
It's where Jesus' finger is.
Part chameleon.
Oh, look.
Can he move them independently?
Oh,
not the paws.
No, his eyes, not his paws.
Claws? I suppose they have claws.
Anyway,
we go back to bed now.
So yeah, on the back of that, I mean, clearly that's quite a specific thing for postal workers, or indeed anyone that's had to use a letterbox at any point. You got anything that if you were in charge of the world that you would outlaw immediately, like with immediate
religion?
Huh?
Religion.
Yeah.
But like with everything, there would be conditions. I would set aside one place, just one place where if you're religious, you can go there. If your faith is that important to you, maybe Australia. Why not? It's a wonderful, beautiful country. No one wants to be there because of all the animals. I'll just put that down, but reality, I still want it. Yeah, I think religion, I'll be like, nah, we're going science. The only religion I subscribe to is the Church of Satan.
Yeah, and let's face it, with all the religious people going over to Australia, it'll be like, they love praying, and fuck me, will you need to over there. Everything's going to kill you. Good luck.
Yeah. I think it causes far too much controversy. I don't think it brings enough good from it.
Yeah,
and
100%.
Also, some of them cathedrals, my God, they would make beautiful flats.
And let's face it, there'd be a lot of very happy altar boys.
Yeah. Yeah, masses.
Not in Australia.
Yeah.
Very true.
There's one thing above all else that you want to fear in Australia, altar boy.
Yeah, I think. What about you, Mushu? What would you outlaw?
I would be along the lines of religion as well. To be fair.
Okay, fair enough.
Either that or people over 90 driving. Or over a certain age driving. I think it's really fucking dangerous, and they do my head in. Yeah. It's either really dangerous or it's really slow and safe.
How do you feel about
still driving slow? Is still dangerous.
Yeah, it really is.
Well, it is.
Really is.
Fucking angry.
See, I think past a certain age, like every 2 years or so, they should retake their driving test.
Yeah,
but that should be free though.
Mm.
They shouldn't be charged for that. But you know, I brought up that question the other day: that would you cure the world if you would take out all the over 70s? And I was the only one who was like, yeah, sure. You're like, oh, no, we can't do that. No.
That's because we, Sam, are decent people.
Yeah, they've lived their lives.
Yeah.
Yes, they have.
They've
What about
done
you,
their
Curly?
Oh, that's better not stick.
What's that?
It's
Again,
just what she's labelled as on there.
have you not seen Jabes?
Got the curly hair bitch.
Andy changed my name.
Yeah.
Bless him.
See, when I said about putting your name as that, I got the fucking middle finger.
Well,
I didn't have much choice though, because I didn't change it myself.
Well, she stupidly said I couldn't work out how to change the name, so I was like,
I couldn't.
oh, like she won't be able to work out how to change it back. Brilliant.
Give me time.
You know, Andy's probably going to change it every episode that you're on.
It doesn't
gonna
show
be
up
a
for
new
anyone
name.
anyway, so it's only us that can
Yeah,
see it.
it's only us that get to see it. Great.
Um, Go on,
Going back to the topic again, I'll probably stick to religion. I probably wouldn't be as strict as saying none whatsoever, but again, I'd limit it because
you can't pick one because
I'm
that's
not
what always
picking one.
causes the problems.
That's how.
No, I would restrict it into, I don't know, it's outreach really. I know the whole point of religion is to reach everybody, but it gets over the top. Like people knocking on your own door, preaching. I don't want that shit. Like
Yeah,
I'm at
that's
home
Jehovah's-
to avoid people. Like I don't want you to come to me.
So maybe it needs like a load of restrictions slapped on it, like you're not
Yeah.
allowed, like the same as cigarettes. You're not allowed to peddle it.
Socially distanced.
Every time you go in a church, you see a picture of a priest being creepy with a kid or something like that. Just so you know, like, ooh, it's not really a great thing.
Yeah.
I want to do it. I like getting me fix. I mean, that might be a bit strong, but you know what I mean. Yes, so just restrict everything. You're not allowed to go and knock on people's doors and fucking just like, you know, why do atheists never do that? Or Sikhs do any other religions do that, or is it just Christians or Jehovah's Witnesses or whatever? I don't know.
Well, Jehovah's Witnesses have to recruit, don't they? That's part of their thing. They've got to recruit 10 people in their lifetime or something like that. It's a set amount. But that's why they're always off out peddling their faith.
Yeah, they could probably pack that shit in under my rule and all.
The thing is, though, the fact that, like, I don't know who it was that brought out the council or what, the fact that they actually had to bring out stickers to say, do not knock on my door, I'm not interested. I think that tells you, stop.
Yeah,
like, people don't want it.
Well, yeah, it's another warning label that's unnecessary.
Yeah.
Or it should be unnecessary.
That's the best of all the warning labels, though, isn't it? Because it gets you a little bit of peace and quiet. It's just the postman and debt collectors knocking after that.
Yeah.
Oh, debt, because I'll rule them out. In my world, there's no worries about that. I've got rid of it. No, there's no money worries for anybody. I've invalidated it.
So
I used to be a bailiff. Cheers, mate.
Well, you're fucking banned. Off to Australia with you.
So I messaged the missus, right? And I asked her what would she do if she ruled the world. And she just probably knock back a few gins with the Queen. Flavoured gins, obviously, mix it up each time.
Well, why though? Why with the Queen?
Yeah.
You're running
She
the world.
she wouldn't be the
nothing
queen
there.
then either.
No.
Some old lady.
Yeah, just some old randomer
Unless like
with a load of corgis.
really wants to meet the Queen, thinks she's a cool person or something like that. I'll probably do
I don't know what.
Johnny Depp or something like that. He seems like a laugh.
I'd have a skinful with the Queen. I reckon that'd be quite a nice night. Butlers bringing you drinks and stuff. I quite like table service, you see. That's the one good thing to come from old Roro, is that the bars bring you drinks to you like they do in America. And I'm on board with that.
Yeah, I do like that, I must say.
Yeah,
Not
it's
that I
nice.
drink anymore, but I do like it.
Yeah, it's,
Yeah, I don't know. It depends what sort of drunk the Queen is. If she's one of those crazy drunks, then fucking no thanks, because she's got
I
She's like,
I
"Oh,
reckon.
watch this, Andy. I'm shit-faced. Look, I can get the SAS to come in and shoot you now. Don't believe me? Don't believe me, prick. Look, I'll do it now." And then the next thing you know, you got fucking SAS in there, you know?
I reckon she's a few gins and an ambient kind of drunk myself, where she just gets all motivated and just does a load of stuff around the fucking palace. She's like riding on little Prince George's skateboard and hobby horse, like holding one of the maces and things like that, just sailing down on a little rocking horse and stuff. Doesn't remember any of it. Wakes up in the morning, it's like, oh, my head hurts. Something chronic this morning. But yeah, I'm not sure.
Okay.
Jeeps,
Hello.
on you, mate. You're Lord, Ruler, God, King of the world. You get to ban one thing immediately from immediate effect. Go. And as always,
Fuck.
we've been talking about it and you haven't even thought about it.
It's literally like one of those machines. You put the penny in and you're just watching it roll down all the slopes, and you think like it's gonna get there eventually.
And then it falls into no win.
Yeah, or it just lands in a pile of other pennies and it's really disappointing. That's exactly what this is like.
I don't know, because there's nothing really that fucking irritates me enough to ban it.
Really?
Yeah.
Like,
The thing is,
how
everyone likes their own things. Everyone has their own likes, their hobbies, and everything like that. I don't give a shit as long as it doesn't affect me directly. I don't give a shit.
Jeffrey Dahmer liked killing people. It was kind of his hobby, but that's cool.
that's fine, mate. It doesn't affect Jesus.
Yeah, but the thing is
But he
that
liked
would be
it.
an
He's having a
incredibly hard
whale
thing
of a
to
time.
ban.
Yeah, to be fair, murder is already banned in most countries, I think.
I could be really cruel and ban Sophie from ever having an animal as a pet.
You're
Here we are.
all of
That is death penalty.
I mean, that's just
so far.
Or
Okay,
just
so
be,
far.
Ian can have a load of pets and I'll just look after them, but they're his.
No, you're banned in Jesus's world. So far in Jesus's world, everything's the exact same, except 2 people have been punished.
Yeah, 2 people are miserable.
You got like 9 billion people on the planet, but thus far, Sophie isn't allowed pets and Donald Trump is crash landing on the moon. That is it.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are currently glimpsing into the mind of a psychopath.
Yeah, totally. Chocolate's illegal because it gives him a jippy belly.
But other than that, all of us 3 have sort of gone for the general betterment of the world.
Well, I think so. I mean, Sophie's was a bit bloodlusty.
But the thing with the whole religion and that lot,
It's kind of
as long
positive,
as
though, from Sophie.
like, I don't like the Jehovah Witnesses that come to your door and shit like that, because I've nearly punched one in the face.
What? What did they say to you that prompted that?
He put his foot in my door.
Oh, wow.
He put his foot inside my house. No, and then refused to take his foot out. I was actually upstairs in bed at the time. It was one of my exes that was here with me. She's gone down. She's heard the door knock. She thought it was the postman. So she's opened the door and it's a Jehovah Witness. And the first thing he's done is put his foot in the door. Right. She's tried telling him to get lost, sort of thing. Because it was 2 blokes. And I woke up to her screaming at him. So I've gone flying down the stairs.
Tripping, I assume.
Huh?
Tripped down. You said you went flying down the stairs, so I assume you tripped.
No. Bearing in mind, I was in boxers at the time.
I was really hoping you were going to say I was naked.
And I've seen the guy with his foot in the door. And I told him if he doesn't get his foot out my door, I'm going to fucking knock him out. He didn't, so I launched him across the front of my garden.
Well,
And that's why Jesus is going to hell.
yeah, with that name, he's going to be popular down there as well.
The irony is they then went to the police station. The police are like, can you describe the guy that assaulted you? And they're like, what? Well, just looking at their leaflets. No, never mind. You'll never believe it.
Look like him, but in boxers.
Long hair, beard. And they're like, are you just describing Jesus? It's like, that's what someone called him. Get out of my police station.
This was years and years and years before I was known as Jesus. I didn't even have long hair at the time.
Well,
I actually is it a buzz cut? The real short.
Right.
That's what I used to have.
I've just got Jim Carrey and me, myself, and Irene now.
Fuck's sake.
Sorry, mate. That's what you get for looking a bit like him in certain light.
Hey, Jesus, you ain't
always
flashed your
says
nipple tonight.
Sorry,
Is that
Sam.
the Sophie's hair? No.
Is it gone?
What? Yeah.
Yes.
No,
Oh,
it's
fuck.
still,
I believe you.
Oh, wait until the retching stops.
Oh.
So, right. Does anyone else have anything they want to be saying on this subject? What's Jesus doing?
Scratching my knee.
Oh.
Please never, ever do that face again. No. You look like a Who from the Dr. Zeus books.
He does look a little bit like a Who from the Dr. Seuss books.
I've never noticed.
Sophie, what about you? Have you got any major policies that you would do? So far, all you've done is bring back the death penalty and abolish religion.
I mean, I'm going all hippie on you. I would try to make the planet a little bit more eco-friendly.
I like that.
Plant those trees, you know, wind turbines. I'm not against them when they're out in the sea and that. I mean,
I like them on hills. I think they look great.
I've been to Denmark and I've flown over all of their ones in the ocean, and I think it actually looked really nice. Like, they're in perfect little lines, perfect for the OCD. Like, it was lovely, and obviously it's doing the world a bit good. So yeah, I would try and chip in and do my bit.
I think making
really
nature reserves as well.
Yeah.
Fucking huge.
Save our wildlife.
Yeah, and literally
Save our foxes.
No, but that's where you make it death penalty. If you're found inside one of these nature reserves, just completely off limit to humans, you know, like let nature do its thing on its own without us getting involved.
That's as well, poaching.
You should be allowed to go in there, but you've got to go in there naked with nothing. If you're going in there, you're an animal as well. No?
Yeah, I'd be up for that.
Yeah? You could go into
just
the
like the
nature
idea of
reserves
being naked, Andy.
My new child line, I'd just be like, do you like animals? Yeah. Do you want to go see some? Yeah.
Yeah, poaching. And
Sophie,
death penalty for that as well.
What, for poaching?
Poaching, yeah. Do you not see all these photos on Facebook of like some young girl with a rifle and a big dead giraffe next to her, and she's got a massive grin on her face?
Sophie,
like, why are you so happy?
Those pictures are the only way I get hard anymore. I'm
not angry, I'm just disappointed.
Oh, that's worse.
Oh no.
To be honest, I would probably deploy troops to actually help protect the game reserves, the reserves and that lot in Africa and stuff like that.
I'm more concerned about the big forest in South America. What's it called? The jungle. The rainforest.
Amazon.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm more concerned about that getting deforested. That's not the right word.
Deforested.
Deforestation.
Yeah, that's the fucking phrase. They're cutting it all down for palm oil, aren't they? Yeah.
Burning it.
Yeah, I would make that whole place a no-go zone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, fuck it.
Can I just say there is a lady, I think she's South African ex-special forces, whose job is now to go out and hunt hunters in Africa.
I want that job.
I've seen that, yeah.
And
I want
has to be said,
Andy, can you hook me up?
Incredibly hot. I know that's such a really blokey thing to say, but she's hot because obviously she's in she's in the special forces, but she's got a fuck off massive, great big sniper rifle as well, which is just like, it's lovely. Yeah, and her entire job is she goes around and shoots people that are trying to shoot rhinos and shit like that, and she's very good.
That's amazing.
I don't understand why people shoot rhinos and elephants. Lions, I kind of understand why people do. Why? Because they're a predator.
Yeah.
I mean, if they're attacking you, then fair enough, but you shouldn't be near enough that they attack you.
Oh, look, Sophie, I'm not condoning it. I don't want to go shoot a lion, okay?
But the mentality behind it is it's one predator against another.
It.
It's, yeah.
But why would you shoot a hippo? unless it's like fucking tearing up your village. I just don't.
I think if, like you said, Sam, similar to your idea, if you want to go out and hunt a lion because it's an apex predator and you think you're an apex predator as well, fucking don't. The lion hasn't got weapons, so you go and hunt it with no weapons. You know?
Yeah. I mean, I would let them wear pants. I said
What,
naked.
lions?
But, I don't mind if you want to wear a loincloth.
People are going to get hurt if you're trying to put pants on lions, mate. That's...
I just got Zootopia in my head now.
Yeah, I mean, you know, they can get dressed or whatever, but other than that, they're not allowed weapons or something. They think they're such the big man. They think they're the fucking apex predator. In fact, fuck it. Yeah, you want to hunt a giraffe, mate? Go on, but you're not having weapons. That thing would just neck all over the place.
What about they go into the wildlife reserve to hunt a lion in their loincloth? Are you okay with them making a spear from natural stuff? Can they find a stick and a rock and put them together and build a spear cake?
Yeah, I reckon that's
You're
all
right
right.
with that,
yeah, because they're
Because that's natural instinct, isn't it?
Yeah.
In that case, I'm on board.
Yeah.
My name is Sam, and I endorse this message.
That's all right. I don't think you have the intellect for it anyway.
Huh?
Exactly.
Right. So, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that idea. Yeah. I'm well behind that. I think already I've got a beautiful image of a beautiful world forming in my head, like strung together by all of our ideas.
I've got more. I would instantly I want rid of petrol cars. Sorry, Jeeves, I know you love them, and I know that's not going to be popular with everybody, but I think we've got the technology now to have decent electric cars for all. I think you can keep the petrol for like real necessity stuff. I'm trying to think of example. Trucks, I guess. Big trucks.
I would say no to that, because I'm a big fan of petrol and everything like that. I don't think it's feasible to do it until we have a more sustainable, reusable energy source.
Well, but if you link in with what Sophie was saying about having loads of renewable everywhere.
Yeah, if you're building loads of wind farms, like solar panels, all of that sort of stuff, then by all means. Yeah, I'm on board with that. Going with electric cars. I think some of the electric cars out today will out accelerate a Formula 1 car.
Yeah, because they're amazing. The Teslas are incredible.
Talk.
But I mean, you could. It's not something that would be hugely difficult to achieve. No. I mean, you could do it as a countrywide thing. I've thought this for ages. That I don't understand why the government doesn't get its fingers involved in electric cars and do, like, you know how we pay national insurance out of our wages and it pays towards the NHS. I don't understand why there isn't an electric car scheme, because currently electric cars are so expensive. The only people who can really afford them, with the government. Yeah.
It was on this episode of Top Gear. James May took a BMW i3, purchased it, and he got $5,000 given to him by the government for buying it.
That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about making it accessible for everybody. I like, you know how car leases work? You pay £150 a month and it covers servicing, insurance and all of that. I don't understand why the countries don't do one of those for electric cars. So that would, because you can't take them to a normal garage. Garages would have to upgrade and they would have to evolve, because they just would. That's the only way it works, because they're so vastly different. I just don't understand why they don't make it available for everyone. I know it would be a bit boring because it would just be the exact same sorts of cars. You know, a family of 5 are going to need a big people carrier, whereas one person's only going to need a little 2-seater G-Wiz, or what was that shit car that you liked? The
Renault Twizy.
The Twizy. Yeah, I mean, like, Jesus, you're not even getting one of them. You're getting a G-Wiz just because of your attitude towards it.
I'll keep my Beamer.
You won't be able to get petrol. But I mean, immediately that would cut down on all emissions, wouldn't it? And if you had solar on every roof, which I know new houses have to have a solar panel on, if you took that to a new extreme where all buildings, their whole roofs were just solar, I think if you got to that point, it would be brilliant.
Did you ever hear about the guy in America that created something called solar powered roadways.
I've seen them. The glass roads.
That sort of thing, I would definitely be back in that.
Yeah, they're really
They
good
reckon
there.
that if they replaced every road and playground surface in America, they could power the country 27 times or something stupid like that over than what the actual country needs.
Yeah, and
That sort of thing.
It's done with recycled glass as well, isn't it?
Yeah, recycled glasses. And so when a panel breaks, it's a case of replacing that section panel. It's not like they've got to dig up the road and the road could be closed for like 3 weeks. It could be literally a road closed for an hour.
Yeah. I was going to mention this, but I thought it was so out there that nobody would know what it was on about. And it's kind of difficult to explain. And lo and behold, Jesus instantly explains it. And it wasn't difficult at all.
They had it as well where to have sensors and certain distances either side. So if the road became blocked, they could set up signage on the road that would say road blocked ahead, and it could give active warning to drivers in at night and stuff like that. Also it had they had little heaters in them as well. So that if it snowed, it would melt the snow and it would drain between the panels into a reservoir underneath. So the roads
water
were never...
displacement.
Yeah.
That was incredible as well, wasn't it? It was like surprisingly good, considering it's made of glass. How it displaces the water, so it's actually still safe to drive on, and you still get just as much grip and traction as you would do with a normal car. I don't understand why that didn't take off, because it's the invention, or the guy who came up with it. It's an incredible idea.
The amount of money in the oil industries and the fuel industry.
Well, yeah,
it was about 60 or 70% of it was made from recycled materials.
It's the oil companies, isn't it? Because of tarmac is made with crude oil. So yeah, I assume that they put it in. The inventor of that, he gets an invite onto my council of elders.
One final point that I would put in is vertical gardens as well. I love them. You know, vertical gardens.
Oh yes,
you have the side of the buildings just covered with grass and fucking flowers and shit like that. Chuck them on every single building. The air quality is so much better, and it's just a lot nicer to look at, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Glenfield definitely wouldn't have gone up if everyone was watering their plants on the outside of that, would they?
Exactly.
There's a nasty panelling. We've got a couple of them in Southampton, actually, where the motorway overpasses are. They've been bringing them in. They look lovely.
Yeah, I do. I think they're a good idea.
I think that works as towards insulating the house as well.
Yeah, probably. I could use that here, in all fairness. It's pretty fucking chilly.
Have you ever seen it fall off at the side of a building?
No.
It literally looks like someone has. It literally looks like it's just peeled off. You know how you take a peeling off of like a new computer screen or something like that?
Yeah.
It looks like that. One side's green and one side's brown. It's really weird. I'll find a picture and I'll send it.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah. Well, I'll stick one in now if he finds it and sends it. And if he doesn't, fuck him.
You've just been watching us just staring at the screen for a second.
Yeah. It's getting on a little bit. I mean, I have no problem revisiting this subject at another time, but I feel like we should probably wrap this one up. I've
got a feeling we're going to get further comments on this anyway, somehow over the period of the next week until this one's actually released. So, sorry, destroying the magic. I mean, yeah, whatever. So I think we can revisit it. I mean, we could sort of do an amalgamation show, couldn't we? Just revisiting lots of previous topics.
Yeah, there are various comments on various videos that we haven't addressed. Well, I don't know why.
Seems only fair, doesn't it?
Yeah. So should we wrap this up then, guys?
Yeah, why not? As always, do give the page a visit. You know, please do like and share and go to the YouTube video. We've got to get 500 likes. Has to happen. So do what you can. Facebook's changed the way they're doing things now a little bit, so you might.
Oh yeah, you've got to interact with the page, otherwise you're not showing up in anybody's feeds.
Yeah, so please do interact with the page as much as you can. That'd be great. And again, we're also available on everything audio-wise: Podbean, Spotify, YouTube, Google. What's
Apple?
Apple. Thank you. iTunes. Yeah, that's it. Thank you. I'm losing it now.
Yeah.
So,
Losing the
all
bill
right,
squid.
I'm gonna say fuck. I'm gonna say bye then.
Okay. And look, if you want Sophie to come back, do comment below. And I believe she has an army of friends and followers. So you know what to do. Like and subscribe if you want to see more of that curly haired bitch. Again, that is what she's labelled as on our system that we're using at the moment. It's just to throw that. I'm not just being mean and treating her harshly.
Not just doing that. Right, well, yeah. Cheers for joining us, Soph. Hopefully, we'll be seeing a lot more of you. And thank you for turning up as well, Jeeves. It's always nice to see a little bald
Top
face.
of your head.
Top of his head, yeah. And also, before we go, look how much his beard has grown in the week. Damn, son.
Impressive.
More board down.
And on that note,
Anyway.
we'll see you later.